Hey everyone, welcome to the new Poppy list. If you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Well, today's subject is somewhat controversial, and I'm not even sure if YouTube will allow this video to stay up, but I'm going to make it anyway because I think it's necessary more than ever. There are a few things that you can sort of let go, but the issue of children and transgenderism and sexuality is one of those issues that so offends me, and it's so repulsive that it has to be talked about, and we can't simply ignore it or sort of work around the edges. We have to call it out for what it is. Now, as a libertarian-minded person, I generally don't care what people do, especially adults. If you're an adult and you want to be a woman, I don't care. Whatever sexual practices you have, I don't care. What you do behind your closed doors is none of my business. Whatever. You're an adult, you can do what you want. That, however, stops when it comes to children. Children are influenceable. They have very plastic brains and minds when they're young to be trained, conditioned, and groomed. And our number one priority as adults is to protect children and give them the best opportunity we can give them to have a healthy life. And so when I started seeing this transgender and gender stuff sort of slip into children's things, it alarmed me. And it's been happening for a while, yet somehow, while it got attention, it really didn't grab the public, right? I remember 2018 on Good Morning America, we had the Amazing Desmond, which was a 11-year-old boy dressing in drag. And I remember seeing that going, this is not an obscure show on cable. This is ABC, Disney, Good Morning America. And here we are celebrating an 11-year-old drag boy. Now, I thought that should have caused a 5-alarm fire in our society where everybody went, what the hell is going on? And there were certain people who reacted to it going, what, this is ridiculous. But it didn't get as much attention as I thought it should have. And here we are 4 years later with this Florida bill where all they're saying is, for the young children, let's not discuss sexuality and gender and stuff like that. Not a big deal. And this has caused a huge uproar on the left, and particularly with Disney. Now, remember back to when you were in school. For me, when I was in third grade, it was 1991. Was there any concept of gender, of sexuality in your classroom when you grew up, if you're, say, over 35? And for me, I can't think of one way in which I thought of gender or sexuality. When I was in third grade, I understood there were boys and girls, and that some of the girls would chase me around the playground, and I would run away because they had cooties. And at some point, around 6th grade or 7th grade, that started to change, and now I wish they would chase me around, and then they stopped, unfortunately. That's what happens, right? But there was no idea that there was different genders or that you could change genders. These ideas don't originate with children. They originate with adults. Now, in left-wing academia, in the sociology departments, they've been creating and thinking up these transgender issues and these issues about sexuality. And they've been baking there for years and years and years and years. And finally, over time, they started to filter out from the campus into the school system and started to go after the children. And this is what's happening. This stuff is filtering out of left-wing academia and now is going into our school systems. And these are all ideas that are taught to children. Children have no concept of these ideas until we implant in their minds these ideas. And it is truly one of the most disgusting and weird things I've observed in our society. And for me, this is the red line. If we can't stop and go, wait a second, this is ridiculous. We as adults are complete failures, and this is where we have to stand up and push back. Now, I have another theory about why we see so much of this, and this is controversial as well. There's a thing called Munchausen syndrome by proxy. And this is when a caretaker, an adult, believes their child has an affliction, and they either make that affliction worse, or they push it in order to get attention for themselves. And in the case of these 5-year-old kids who are transgendered or whatever weird thing they have, I think this is a case of Munchausen syndrome by proxy. These parents get attention by having drag kids and transgender kids. And it's really quite sick. So these parents, in effect, are teaching their kids these things, and they're nurturing these doubts these kids have in their minds, implanting the ideas, and the kids who don't understand what it is act out on one of these ideas, and the parent nurtures it until you have a 5-year-old transgender child, which simply shouldn't exist. And that is purely a creation of adults conditioning and training that mind to have these weird thoughts and weird ideas. And it's been nurtured to the point where here they are getting hormone treatment at a young age to prevent puberty, which is complete malpractice to give any child a hormone to prevent them from going through puberty. Now, it's funny, years ago, and probably still now, we've had those campaigns that fought against genital mutilation in Africa, where women have their parts of their anatomy removed so they couldn't enjoy sex. We call that mutilation. Now we have children having mastectomies and being given drugs to prevent their bodies from going through puberty. In my estimation, my opinion, that is a form of mutilation, except now we accept it, promote it, and we've created a pseudoscience that sort of makes it okay because it's not something we've made up. There's a science behind it, a science that we've created, again, in these places in academia. So that's where we're at now in our society. We have allowed this left-wing weirdness to filter out from the campuses into the mainstream. And just like critical race theory, we're now really becoming aware of it. And we have to push back more than ever because, again, if adults want to be weird, go ahead and be weird. I don't care. When it comes to children, full stop, all hands on deck, we have to push back against this. This is where any sane adult should be outraged and draw that line. So, again, it's not popular to say this. I'm sure I'll be attacked as a bigot and somebody who doesn't want to allow children to learn about themselves, whatever that may mean. But for me, I've had enough. I'm a pretty lenient person. I don't particularly want to get in people's business, but I don't want to turn my television on and see Good Morning America, see a 11-year-old boy wearing a wig and a dress, wearing drag. For me, that's where it's over for me, and I got to speak up and push back, and hopefully everyone else, you guys do as well, because again, this is the issue that really, really annoys me and really, really bothers me because it involves children who have their entire lives ahead of them, and our duty as adults is to protect these children. That's it for now. Again, if you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. See you next time.